Hi everyone, welcome to 5 Minute Tech Talks. In this video, we'll be covering object-oriented programming, which is part of our computer science fundamental series. So let's get started. So what is object-oriented programming or OOP? Object-oriented programming is a programming paradigm which is based upon the concept of objects. Objects contain data in the form of fields, often known as attributes or properties, and code in the form of procedures, often known as methods. A real life example of this would be an employee object, which contains data as first name, last name, title, department, and some code to get access to that data. For example, get name, get title, get department. So, what is the difference between classes and objects? A class can be considered as a template for object creation. Again, in this example here, there's a class called employee with properties for storing first name, last name, title, department, a constructor which accepts the values for these properties and then which sets the values to the corresponding properties in the class, and then the getters to return the value of these properties. So you can look at the object creation example on the right hand side, which creates an object employee by calling the constructor and printing out the values being passed, or the values which are set for that particular object, by calling the getter methods on it. Object-oriented programming languages, there are quite a lot. I have shown a few examples here: Java, C++, PHP, Objective-C, and so on. Let's talk about object-oriented principle called encapsulation, which is defined as wrapping up of data under a single unit. It is the mechanism that binds together both data and code. One useful use of encapsulation is to use it as a protective shield that prevents data from being accessed by code outside that particular class. For example, if we make the first name, last name, title, department properties in class employee as private, no one else can access those. We'll have complete control over it through our methods, and we can expose those methods to the other classes or objects. So for example, the get name, get title, get department is the only way to get the values of the name, title, and department for this employee. Inheritance. Inheritance is object-oriented principle by which one class is allowed to inherit features of another class. In this example here, car, truck, and motorcycle all inherit from the class vehicle, and SUV and sedan inherit from the class car. So class car can have some common properties. For example, has a steering wheel or has four wheels, which both SUV and sedan can inherit. Now let's talk about polymorphism. Polymorphism is a condition of occurring in several different forms. In this example here, I am showing runtime polymorphism, where there are two subclasses of class animal, horse and a cat. Both have different implementations for the method sound. Now, if I am instantiating a, a horse and assigning it to the variable of animal and printing dot sound on animal, since this object has been instantiated by using horse constructor, the output will be nigh, as shown in the top example here on the right hand side. If I use the same mechanism but instantiate a cat object and assign it to the animal object variable and then print animal.sound, it will print meow, which is the implementation shown in the cat class. Another way of achieving polymorphism is shown here, where this is compile time polymorphism, where the class mathOps here has method called sum, which has two variations, one that accepts integers and the other one that accepts double values and returns double. Now if you look at the implementation here, after calling the constructor, the first line of system.out.println and call math.sum and passes the integer values, and the second line passes the double values, and it automatically calls the correct implementation and returns invokes the correct implementation and returns the corresponding value. The last topic we'll cover in this video relating object-oriented programming is abstraction. Abstraction is can be defined as something. It is a concept of describing something in simpler terms. For example, abstracting away the details in order to focus on what's important. So you can look at this example here where there's an abstraction called car and its concrete implementation is SUV or sedan. So in the abstraction of car, we are saying that at a high level, a car should have car type and a drive type. And its concrete implementation SUV defines then what is a car type SUV and what is a drive type all-wheel drive. And similarly, sedan, which is another implementation of car, has the concrete implementation of car type as sedan and drive type as front wheel drive. So that's all for the object oriented programming concepts. I hope you like this video. Please subscribe and thank you for your time.